Hello everybody, today we're going to take a look at my Moonlight batten. Okay, now this batten I've actually had for a pretty long time. Okay, I got it back in, I think it was back in 2013 when I was in college. Okay, so I've had this batten for nearly 10 years. Okay, so it's done very well. Okay, haven't really had it out a lot. Okay, well you might have seen it in the video that I did on comparing the coloured LED to the coloured fluorescent tubes, and that's probably the only time it's been out. Okay, now I did do an official video of this back in many years ago. But I'm making an updated video now since things have changed. Okay, all right, and I'll show you what's new. Okay, so this batten here was in my at college. Okay, it was probably in a storeroom, I think. It was removed because they renovated and they replaced all the lights with LED panels. So the batten became irrelevant, but I salvaged it from the school, okay? So I've had it ever since, okay? So this is, of course, a 60 centimetre batten, so you can run F40T12, F18T8, and, of course, 9-watt LED tubes in it. All right, so this is made by Moonlighting. That's the company that make it, okay? So I'll show you around, okay? Now, when I got this batten, I did originally have a fixed cord on it, okay? I don't use fixed cords anymore, okay? I got rid of that back in probably a few years ago, because ever since now I just use these computer cables, okay? You know, cables like this, just because it's more easier, more convenient. Okay, these are not the original lamp holders. The original lamp holders were broken, so I had to replace them with these HPM 380s. Okay, the starter receptacles are not original either. Technically, all the electrical gear in this batten is not original. Okay, the ballasts are not original. The original ballasts were big and chunky, and they were really heavy. So what I did was I got rid of them and put some smaller ballasts in. Okay, we've got a switch on here as well, okay, to control each tube. And, of course, there we have our power port, all right? So now this batten here was originally a diffuser batten, so there was a diffuser that went on this. So I couldn't find that anywhere, okay? So I just use it as a bare batten. There were end caps, so I got rid of them, okay, because I couldn't use them. All right, so we'll open this up and we'll have a look inside. I've already loosened the screws just so we can take a look. So we'll take off the plate and we'll take a look at the inside, okay? Okay, so here's what's inside, okay? Now, these here are not the original ballasts. The original ballast did slot into here, and they were pretty big ones, almost like what you'd find in an F58 batten, okay? So, and they were too heavy, so I couldn't, and it was made this thing just heavy, so I got rid of them. So I got rid of them and replaced them with these APCO ones, because they're actually a lot easier to transport it, okay? This is not the original wiring, okay? I replaced all this wiring, okay? So this is all new wiring. I actually rewired this yesterday, okay? Because I redid all the wiring in it, because when I originally got it, I didn't do a very good job. It was pretty messy, okay? So I have been doing a lot of improvements, okay? So this end here has the live, so the brown wires are the live. This side has the neutral, which is the blue. And, of course, it connects to the starter receptacles here. Now, this terminal block here I'm going to replace because this one's pretty crappy. Okay, I don't have any spares, so I've just got that in there for now. And the switch is right there. You can see there's the switch terminal. So this one controls the tube on this side. The other one controls this side. Okay, so each tube has its own switch, own ballast, and own starter. In most of these short battens, you tend to see one ballast operating two tubes, but I find it just better just to have two ballasts operating each tube. It's just more easier. Okay, and here we have our computer cable port, okay, which supplies power to the batten here, okay. So that's technically what it does, and here we have the original sticker that came with the batten, as you can see. This batten obviously went to Monash Uni at first, and then St. Joseph's obtained it. Okay, so yeah. And this batten here was made in 1999, so that was the year I was born, so this batten's technically as old as me. All right, so we'll put it back together and we'll fire it up, okay? We'll fire it up with all the different tubes and we'll see what we can get. See if we can get some blink happiness out of the fluorescent. Oops, see, I just dropped a screw. Hang on, let me just get that, find that. Where did that go? Dropping stuff is not fun, okay? And these are actually not the original screws. None of the screws are original either. They're all new because all the original screws were rusted and corroded. Okay, and I don't like having things that are corroded. And the batten here, I did clean up the best I could. It is a bit filthy, okay, considering its age. All right, so stick that side. Now we'll plug the power in. We've got to plug the batten in order to use it. So we'll plug in our computer cable port. I'll have to hold the batten because sometimes it wants to move when you plug the power in. Okay, so now we got power. So now we need some starters. We'll put in some of these Philips fluorescent light starters. Okay, and these actually glow quite nicely when you turn them on, and I'll show you that. Okay, so we got our starters. So let's start off with some F20 T12s. Okay, so I'll put in this Philips one. This is a Philips one. You can see Philips, and this one here is an old Sylvania. Okay, so these are the only T12 tubes that I have in this caliber. Let's turn them on. There we go. Now, for some reason, T12 tubes, they just don't want to blink very much. I don't know why. It's just the way they are. Okay. So, and these tubes I used in the Ferguson Zodiac videos as well, but they just don't want to blink. Okay. We'll take a look at them. Okay, wrong side. You can see the starter blinks a bit. We'll do that again. Yep, now we're getting a little bit of blinkage now. Now that's a bit better. Watch that starter glow as the tube comes on. Okay, we are getting a little bit of blinkage, but not much. Yeah. Okay, not very much blinkage, but it is good that this batten will run this tube caliber. Okay, it's good having a batten that I can run all the different types of lamp calibers. Now we'll put in some T8s. Okay, we got I think Polylux XL. This is made by General Electric. Then we have another Philips Alto. Okay, that's an Alto. The Alto ones have the green ends. Okay, now these ones we might get a bit of blinkage. Let's see. Oh, that's better. We got a little bit of blinkage that time. Okay, let's do that again. See, I'll show you the starters. Okay, not much blinkage that time. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay, still not much blinkage, but it is blinky with these T8 tubes. Yeah, for some reason T8 fluorescents are more blinkier than the T12s. I don't know why, but it's just the way they are. Okay, once again, these were the tubes that I used in the Ferguson Zodiac video, and we did get a bit of blinkage out of them. Okay, might depend on the ballast that you're using or the type of starter. And these starters here are actually rated for up to 22 watt tubes, and that's what I use them for. I have used them on the longer tubes, and for some reason what happens is that the tube and the starter fight. Okay, it's not enough, obviously not enough power to start it, so you have to use a different starter for the longer ones. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll put in the LED tubes. Okay, if I can do it without dropping anything. So I'll stick in the LEDs and we'll try it out with them. Now the LED tubes I'm going to be using are the coloured ones. Okay, we've got a green and a yellow, and I probably might be getting red and blue in this caliber soon, because I did contact Vibe and they said that they can get them. Okay, but there is probably a waiting period. Okay, well, as long as I get them before Christmas is what matters. Okay, and that way I can have coloured LEDs for everything. All right, so now we've got to put in some LED tube starters. Now, these are type A LED tubes, so what that means is you've got to have a starter in, otherwise the tube doesn't work. Okay, it's just a little way it works. So if I take the starter out, the tube won't work. Okay, now these won't blink because they're LED. LEDs don't blink. Okay, so let's turn these on. So we have yellow and green. Okay, it looks pretty nice with them. You don't hear any hum whatsoever when you're running LEDs. Okay. Awesome. Okay, now just to show you that you've got to have these in, if I turn this starter and try to turn it on, you see nothing happens because the circuit's incomplete. Okay, you've got to have that in order for the tube to work. Okay, so if there's no starter, the tube's not going to work. Oopsie, dropped my phone. All right, let's get back to what we're... There we go. Awesome. Okay, so that's a very nice batten made by Moonlighting. Okay, and it's a pretty good batten. It's been a while since I've had this thing out, but now we've got it out again. had some fun with some nice classic fluorescent lamps, the old F20T12s and the F18T8s, and of course the lamps of today, which are LED, and especially with green and yellow, which represents Aussie Australia, which we are. Okay, and that's also good because we had the Olympics this year. Okay, so hope you enjoyed seeing my Moonlight batten, and that'll be it.